Hey Hotshots, Jess with Emotional Fire Academy here today to talk about how to unlock the best in the present moment. This is a really fun concept I'm excited to share with you today. Welcome to Emotional Fire Academy. This is a channel where we teach you tactical mindfulness tools so you can live your most epic, amazing, and adventurous life. So let's start out with a parable. Now, I don't usually tell parables, but the channel's expanding, we're growing, so this is one from Alan Watts. I love this story. If you've never heard it before, you're in for a treat. So it's the parable of the farmer. And this is gonna, listen to this so I can give you some perspective on what we're gonna talk about today. Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer whose horse ran away. That evening, all of his neighbors came out to commiserate. They said, "We're so sorry to hear that your horse ran away. This is most unfortunate." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back, bringing 7 wild horses with it. And in the evening, everybody came back and said, "Oh, isn't this lucky? What a great turn of events. You now have 8 horses." The farmer again said, "Maybe." The following day, his son tried to break one of the horses. And while riding it, he was thrown off and his leg was broken. The neighbors then said, "Oh dear, that's too bad." And the farmer responded, "Maybe." The next day, the army officers came around to take everyone that was able-bodied and put them into the army. They rejected the son because he had a broken leg. Again, all the neighbors came around and said, "Isn't that amazing? Isn't it wonderful? Your son doesn't have to go to the army." And the farmer said, "Maybe." So this is how we can never really judge. You know, we're so quick to judge any situations or any people or any, even from small to large things in our life, as either problematic, annoying, anxiety producing, you know, as a cause to elicit negative emotion inside of us. And we do this so subconsciously and so automatically that it's just part of daily life, right? I talked about this in the Use Your Imagination for Good. I'll link that video below. It's another great video to accompany this one. So I have a tool, a process that we can start using to flip that, because when we start to release these judgments, these automatic judgments that just come up, right? The voice in our head is like, "Oh, another problem. I know this is a pain in the ass. This is whatever." You know, the voice just, as soon as the situation happens, the voice makes a comment, and then it's almost like we're grabbing a speeding train. That judgment, that speeding train of judgment, we grab it and then we get immediately pulled into a specific story with a specific emotion. And then that situation becomes very conditional. We are conditioning ourselves by choosing that frame, choosing to allow our attention on that speeding train. We get then just pulled into the past and stuck on this momentum of conditionality, of conditioning to this situation, this person, this whatever it is. You know, let's give you even be a food. "Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this food." You know, like, and it takes a little bit of effort to get out of it. But I want to, as we let go of that judgment, we keep the present moment. We stay very present, right? We don't then lock ourselves into a certain emotion or a story with someone or something, because we're priming ourselves, right? With the words the story we're telling in our head, we're priming ourselves, verbal priming. You know, we're telling certain neurons in our brain to turn on and certain pathways to light up and activate, and then we get this association, right? We associate so quickly. We make these connections so quickly, and we never really question them. However, if we want to unlock the best in the present moment, we learn how to loosen up on that, right? We learn how to let those judgments go. We watch that train pass. We can feel ourselves even trying to grab the train, and then we just let it, we release it. We release it, and when you do that, you can feel the present moment kind of return back to this state of pure potential, right? Because in the present moment constantly is offering us moments or this environment of pure potential, right? Where we have the opportunity. We're not just conditioning and making those associations. We're allowing everything to exist in the state of pure potential. We're not jumping on that train. Because there are just as many trains flying in different directions of different associations. So I'm going to teach you how to get on a different train. And in doing this experiment and playing around with this and keeping it fun and lighthearted, we're going to find that how much perception and, again, the story we're telling affects our daily experience. This is daily experience stuff. This isn't pie in the sky. This isn't positive thinking just for the hell of it. This is actual, I feel different in the moment because I've changed this behavior. So let's start verbally priming ourselves to unlock the best in the present moment. I've been playing around with this and it's really fun and you will see results. I promise you, if you do this genuinely, you're gonna experience certain things. So let me tell you what those two things are. This is how this process helps you. So what we're gonna do is, I challenge you to experiment with this, to try this. Try to take a day and frame everything as this is the best case scenario, right? Instead of automatically chalking it up to the worst case scenario, a problem, an annoyance, an anxiety, a fear, a worry, say, literally in your own head, say, this is the best case scenario. As your day unfolds, everything that's happening in front of you, everything that you're watching, everything that is playing out on the screen of your reality, say, this is the best case scenario. This is the absolute best case scenario. Even if you can think of something that you're judging as better. Oh, well, if this happened, it would be better. We're going to leave that alone, just like the parable. We never know. We're going to embrace the present moment as whatever is happening in front of us as the best case scenario. And just be with it, right? And how does this help us? How does this simple behavioral change help us? It helps us, one, it keeps that potential open. It keeps the potential of the present moment open, right? You're not making that a negative association with the situation, the person, the statement. Even, you can do this with the things that are coming up in your own head with a thought. Me having that thought was the best case scenario. That was the best case scenario. It keeps us in a state of resourcefulness where we already have everything that we need, right? If it's the best case scenario right now in front of us, we have everything we need. We're not moving into states of lack or wanting or fear or, we're kind of staying in a state of resourcefulness where we're like, this is the best case scenario. Everything that I need is here in this moment, right? That allows us to kind of relax, stay calm, stay present. And in doing that, it literally changes your perception. You will find, because, when we state, this is kind of like using an affirmation. And I think where people go wrong is they try to artificially induce certain emotions with an affirmation. The best way to do affirmations is say it as if it's a statement of fact, and then you stay in that. Just like when I say, I'm a woman, right? That's a statement of fact. That's something I am knowing about myself. It doesn't carry any associated emotion with it. I'm not particularly happy or sad about it. I'm very neutral, that neutrality in statements of fact. So when we look at what's going on around us, we very statement of fact-ish say, this is the best case scenario. And there will be I just felt a little bit of positive emotion in that, so we're priming ourselves. We're saying, this is the fact. We're claiming that power. This is a fact. Factually, this is the best case scenario. And then our brain is like, oh, it's like giving our brain a command. Our brain says, oh, well, here's the evidence that is true. Our perception immediately shifts in the moment to highlighting the evidence that is true. We kind of create our own cognitive bias where we are opening up those possibilities where we didn't see them before. And we will literally start to see evidence that this is actually the best case scenario. It's kind of amazing. As I've been doing this, it's kind of like magic. So you'll see the evidence, and then that will feed back into that statement of, this is the best case scenario. This is the best case scenario. I'm seeing how this is. I'm seeing how this is. And I challenge you, you can even apply this to, things that happened in your past that you're really still struggling with, that you still have some lingering emotion about, something that has been a problem for a while. I challenge you to do this with that too, to put on this filter and to start to see it in a different way. And then in your brain wanting to provide evidence, you will literally see the evidence, and you're priming your attention to see that evidence. So it's about not only verbal priming, but attention priming as well. I did this on my run this morning. The path where I run, there's a certain part of it that is closed off due to construction. And I was starting to tell this story of, it's really annoying because I like to run on dirt, on a dirt path as opposed to cement or pavement or anything like that, concrete. I always get concrete and cement mixed up. But anyway, but a hard surface, I like to run on something that has a little, that's the earth, it's dirt, it's a little softer. And so because of the construction closure, I couldn't run on my dirt path. I had to be diverted around to the street, to pavement. And I was telling the story when I went on my run. This is really inconvenient. This is a big pain in my butt. And today I tried, this is the best case scenario. This is the best case scenario, right? And I stayed in that. I was like, this is the best case scenario. And I'm just running. And I see this dirt path that I didn't even realize was there. I didn't even perceive it because I was so fixated the last 30 or 40 times I've run on this path. I was so fixated on that story, that annoyance of having to be diverted from my normal path, that I didn't even see the dirt path literally 7 feet away. It was within my visual field. There was a nicely dirt path that went through kind of this little forested area that was so charming and amazing and not in the sun. The sidewalk was out in the sun and hot, and I couldn't have imagined a better scenario. So this was the best case scenario. And in embracing that and priming myself and priming my attention to receive evidence that that is true, I then got it. I got it. It was right there all along. So let me know what you think. Try this for a day. Try it for a day. This is the best case scenario. And then sit with it. And we don't want to release any expectation that magical things, amazing things are going to happen. We're just stating fact. This is the best case scenario. Keep it in that neutral area, and then allow your perception and your attention to naturally gravitate, right? We're letting this be a very natural, organic process to naturally gravitate towards the evidence of that and to see how your world changes and shifts. So let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below, experiment with it, and tell me what happened. I want to hear what happened. Let us know. So thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day and go unlock the potential, the best potential in the present moment.